Hi, I'm 41 years old from Australia, and I always wanted to become fluent in a second language, but life kind of got in the way. I reached a sort of beginner level of Mandarin and probably an early intermediate level of Japanese in my 20s, but I got busy with work and family, and I just never really kept it up. And I'm here in northeast China in the middle of winter, escaping the scorching Australian summer, and this trip has reminded me of that kind of wish that I had, and I suppose it's made me feel a little embarrassed by my fairly elementary language skills. And I'm just determined to improve my fluency. And so I wanted to talk about whether it's actually possible to become fluent in a second language once you're middle-aged, and why people hold the belief that you have to be a child to attain fluency. I kind of believe that a lot of the things holding us back are not so much that we're incapable of it, but more like self-limiting beliefs. I think as adults, we're used to being good at things. We might have devoted 15 or 20 years of our lives to mastering our profession. We're obviously adept at our first language. And so when we are faced with the feeling of being a complete novice, it's very easy to think that we just suck at it and give up easily. So I think the first step is probably that I need to overcome this feeling of being a total beginner. Children don't really struggle with this because society expects them to be beginners. All their friends are in the same boat. They have no choice but to feel uncomfortable. And also, a lot of children aren't very good at learning second languages either, let's be honest. Not many people in English-speaking countries attain fluency at a second language at any age. So I think that's probably my biggest hurdle to overcome. To throw myself into awkward situations, allow myself to make mistakes. I think this is maybe especially hard for kind of successful, intelligent people, because we build our identities around our competence and being really good at something. So again, this makes it extra hard to be in those uncomfortable situations. My wife is a native Mandarin speaker, although she speaks fluent English, and so we've sort of adopted the dynamic at home of just speaking English, which after many years is pretty hard to break out of. But last night I was at a dinner with two of her friends here in Dalian, in northeast China. I can understand maybe 30% of what's going on. Some of it is because of my language, but a lot of the time I'm probably kidding myself. I'm just using contextual kind of clues to infer what's being said rather than genuinely comprehending the language. But even so, it's uncomfortable. There's so many times I kind of wish I could participate in the conversation. Man, this snow's crazy. I must say, as an Australian, it's quite a novelty to be walking in a heavy, moderate snowfall. So I was looking on YouTube at a whole bunch of different Mandarin speakers. We're really lucky in this era to to have all this information at our disposal. There's lots of Westerners who can speak pretty decent Chinese on YouTube. Some of them are peddling various courses, others are just doing it for the fun of it. But it's pretty inspiring. There's also a whole bunch of apps. I'm not sponsored by anything, of course, but I'm trying out, well, obviously Anki, which is free, but also Scritter, which has a paid subscription. I quite like their interface for practicing writing Chinese. Sorry, I'm walking up a pretty steep hill. So yeah, I don't know. I'm waffling on a bit, and I realize some people watching this have minimal interest in Mandarin, but I'm determined to prove the naysayers wrong. There's one comment in my to date most successful video, The Truth of Learning After 40, in which someone said that learning felt a lot slower. Well, maybe that's true, but I still feel like I can do it. And I'm determined to prove everyone who says that wrong. So I'm going to have a go. I mean, I'm a pretty busy person. That's the other obvious obstacle. We don't have a lot of time when we're adults. Working, looking after kids, paying off a mortgage. But I think if you can establish daily habits, do a little bit each day, even if it's only 15 minutes, other days an hour, use your commute time, or I don't know, while you're cleaning up around the house to do some listening practice. I think all of that adds up. So yeah, I'm going to try and see what happens. So yeah, I'll check back in here in a month or so and let you know how it goes. Whoa.